Welcome to Veterans Corner. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. On the show today, we have veteran Vince Campbell. Now, wow, we've been having some technical difficulties behind the scenes today. We were supposed to have on three additional veterans. We were supposed to have on from the East Coast, Fraser Newcomb. We were supposed to have a Marine veteran from the USA, Michael Wooten. And we were going to have from British Columbia, Evictus Games veteran Nick Holium. Now, they still might come in. So we're going to keep our green room open because we would love to interact with all four. I had a panel set up. I had some dynamic questions to go. So I really appreciate, Vince, you hanging around. I know it's been a really trying experience. So how are you doing this morning, Vince?
I'm doing great. Thanks. Thanks for having me on here, Jay.
This is I love your background. So tell our viewers where you're calling in from today.
I'm located north of Pickering, and behind me is 100 acres. That's my backyard. So I'm very fortunate to live in an area where I can enjoy the outdoors and certainly helps with the wellness. So,
That's your backyard.
yeah, front yard, backyard, side yard.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you obviously go out there in the trails a lot. Like it must be really relaxing.
trails. Yeah, there's 100 acres farm this year. There was weed on the field. So, yeah, I can walk through it. There's coyotes and rats and porcupines, all kinds of stuff. So, deer,
I was gonna
turkeys.
say, how's the wildlife? Must be pretty good.
Yeah, actually lots. Yeah, because they're building a whole whack of houses south of here, 20,000 houses. So it's chasing all the critters north. They have no
Oh,
place to
that
live,
kind
so they're
of.
all coming up. So yeah,
But there's
it's
so much green. There's so much green out there. I guess they have to eventually, right?
yeah, that's it. I mean, they have to. There's growth. It's just they have no place to go, so they start moving further north, and so you see a lot more chipmunks and squirrels and that now.
And your property's right on the land there.
Yeah, the 407 is just south of here. You can hear it. You know, when I'm off camera here, you can hear the cars go back and forth. So it's growing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do today, I was gonna talk to you guys, but I can just talk to you now. I was gonna talk to you
Sure.
guys
Yeah.
and ask you about, because I know you're also a musician and I know how much music means a part of your life and how it's helped you immensely, along with other musicians. Like I wanted to have on Fraser, who's also a musician, Michael, who's also a musician, and Nick, who's like, there was going to be four veterans
Yeah.
and four musicians interacting. So let me ask you this, Vince. So going back to your service, okay, was there one moment in your service where it was either really dicey, you didn't know what to expect, you were a little nervous, perhaps you were scared, and you took that moment and brought it back home and it turned into a song? Is there anything that you can relate to that?
That's a great question. I'm just have to think about that one for a sec. Something in my service that came back related to a song. Yeah, in actual fact, it's not really a specific moment, but it was a moment that I talked to a World War I veteran and their story, and it came out into a song. So what happens was I heard his story, and I was in a songwriting group with two other songwriters, and we kind of used that as a guide to. I think the song was called "Coming Back to Hope," where you've been over in war and you've come back, and your family, have thought of you and cared for you and all the memories and those types of things. So, but not a specific moment in my career that where something happened that it sparked an idea for a song. Not yet, anyways. Right?
Not yet, eh?
Not yet.
So when you so in your songs, like how many songs now, original songs have you written? Do you have a list
uh,
or a number about?
I looked at my pad and I have 300, but it's a lot of them are titles, so probably have 50 that are written and I could sing.
Okay.
Some are partial songs, and songs grow just like a child does. And sometimes you go back to them, you put some more lyrics in. Sometimes you rewrite them a year later, add a few. Just sometimes just one word in a song makes a total difference. But right now it's about 50 or so.
And out of
So
those 50 songs, not one of them have been like a memory that you sort of instilled in your writing, or maybe it has in your subconscious and you did?
uh, not so much specific to military career. Through for corrections, definitely there's one from corrections that was an experience that I had. Uh, but otherwise, military, no, it's just like a generality type of thing. Uh, like I wrote one song, it was Young Street. I met a veteran down there, and it sparked a song which I wrote. he was homeless, living on the street, an Afghanistan veteran from the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting, walking up the Young Street and going across to do your songwriting. You're going across a veteran and talk to him and basically develops into a song. So yeah, it was quite touching, to be able to write a song that somebody that you met on the street that was challenged, and at the same time was able to give him some encouragement and some paths to go to try to get off the street. He had money coming in, he had a pension, but because of his drug addiction, he didn't have enough for rent to get established, which just happens to be a lot of them. That money is used for their habit, right? For their addiction, and so just on the border of, maybe I can get a place. No, I can't. I need my fix, right?
And that's very unfortunate, right? Like super sad, right? That's super sad. So how long now have you been out of the service, Vince?
I was in from 80 to 87, so I'm way back. Fortunately, I was in during the peacekeeping times. Bosnia came about just after I got out. So a lot of friends went to Bosnia, and then like I said, fortunately, it was peacekeeping. Then the world was pretty quiet, not like today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should talk a little bit about today. Why don't we take a quick break? Okay. I want to see maybe if some of the other veterans are in the green room, if maybe our producer can check it out and let me know. I'd love to have them in. Because I really wanted to have our U.S. contingency, Michael Wooten, interact with the Canadian veterans and back and forth and ask you guys questions, like get you guys involved. Let's have a Canadian veteran ask an American veteran a question. And, what are the differences? What are the similarities? What you think about each other's, forces, stuff like that. But stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk about your trip, right? We want to talk a little bit about your trip. So stay tuned. You're watching Veterans Corner. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. On the show today, we have veteran Vince Campbell. We'll be right back. We love comments on Facebook, by the way. Thank you.
Not made for standing still. Seems like where I'm bound is always over one more hill. And I'll go the extra mile for you even when the going's hard. God gave me a trucker's heart. Hey, this is Marie Norris. You're watching the Disability Channel, showcasing ability.
Welcome back to the show. You're watching a special edition of Veterans Corner. On the show today, we have veteran Vince Campbell. Now, Vince, tell us what your title was when you finished in the service, and tell us what Army, Navy, Marine. Not Marines, but yeah, tell us. So tell us.
I was with the 1st Nova Scotia Highlanders out of Spring Hill, Nova Scotia. I was a master corporal when I got out, and the trade was infantry, so we were digging trenches, throwing grenades, firing rifles, anything that needed to be done, the infantry did it. So,
and like you said, back then when you were serving, it was peacetime, right? So what would you say? What would you say to any young man or woman who's looking at joining the military today, Canadian? What kind of advice, or what would you suggest, or what kind of tips would you give them, just from your own experience?
Well, the most important thing is that, uh, what career you want to choose, opportunities available, but at the same time, you have to keep in the back of your mind that you're signing up possibly to go to war, that you need to put your life on line and for your country. So that's probably one of the biggest things a lot of people don't necessarily realize. With my dad being a Korean veteran, and always when he was out, he'd always think as a little fella, has my dad gone to war again? Is he gone to fight the enemy? Because you don't know when you're 4 years old. So uh, be prepared the effects it'll have on your family if you plan to have a family. Uh, your family has to support you. So there's a lot of things to consider. When you're an individual first joining the forces. I mean, the opportunities and things are great, but just to keep that in the back of your mind. Down the road, it's challenging for families. There is more support than there used to be, but when you're away for periods of time, it can be very difficult.
Thanks for sharing that. So let's flip the course a little bit and let's talk about Veterans for Healing. I know you were had your song camp down east, so give us a frame it up for us and then tell us the details.
Veterans for Healing Wellness Camp in Inverness, Cape Breton, which is also up in the Highlands in Egypt Falls, and it was actually amazing. The last three, this is our fourth year. It's just really touching. When you get a chance to spend a week with other veterans, you see their trauma. There was a wife that attended for support for her husband. It's very powerful because you when you first
Well,
start, everybody's
Let me stop you there. So
yeah.
tell me a little bit about that experience, though. So the wife attended in place of the husband, or
No, with the husband as support.
oh,
So
okay.
as a caregiver, there's under in the Canadian Armed Forces Veterans Affairs, you can have a caregiver. So a veteran that is challenged and needs that support, whether it be a wife, a relative or whatever, can provide that support wherever they go. Because trauma can happen at any time, a trigger, and when you get further on in your healing, it's a little bit easier. But a lot of individuals, are just starting on their healing path. So to have all the wellness items in their toolbox to be able to use when they're having something like that, whether a trigger that sets them off, or just having a bad day, or they're really irritable, can make a difference. So all of our wives are such huge supports that my wife keeps me going. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for her. So
And how many? So how many? Like, tell us how long it was for and how many attended.
we had about, I think, 6 new veterans there. We had a support team also, 6 or 7. I can't remember exactly, but anyways, so basically it was a week long.
So there
There
were
was box.
six new
Yeah,
veterans, 6 or 7, and then how many? How many other additional people that were there, part of the team, sort of thing?
there's support staff. So there's 3 ladies who are doing all the cooking for us.
Yeah.
And basically have your support staff back that driving around, and we had a bed and breakfast down there. We had the Dusty Time, which is where most of the veterans stay that were part of it's an old coal miners where the managers used to stay. In Inverness was a coal mine uh, that's closed now, so all the managers would stay in this one building, which is it's called the Dusty Diamond.
So let me ask you this. So you said you had 6 or 7 new veterans come, and then they
Right.
would interact with the veterans that were already part of the team that were there already.
That's correct. So we'd be support for them. So anything that they needed, or we'd help with the engagement and try to help crack those shells and open them up so that because at the very first of everybody's kind of intimidated, where they don't know what to expect. But after the first couple of days, people start to relax and open up and realize that there is a path of healing and a bridge to the other side. They just have to work hard at it. And Veterans for Healing provides that, through the 4 pillars of healing, and also, what the clinic provides out of Sydney, Nova Scotia for, doctors, psychologists, therapists of different types. So
So let me
that's
ask you
excellent.
this.
Yeah.
How many veterans, including this year now, do you think, rough estimate, have gone through the camp?
So it's the 4th year. So we're talking 7, 28, let's say 28.
Wow,
28 to 30.
28 veterans.
Yeah. So that's this year wasn't a song camp, but hopefully next year will be. and that way we'll write more songs and do the wellness at the same time. They kind of go hand in hand.
So how was this year different than the song camp?
We spent more time in the wellness doing some longer hikes, nature hikes, and hikes. Going on the beach and playing bocce ball. The waves are coming up, the seals are splashing. I mean, what's better than that for therapy? And get a chance to laugh and joke, and it's what it's all about, enjoying a coffee and just having a good time. Nothing that's concrete, that's scheduled.
Did
Bang,
you
bang, bang. Very
did you get a
relaxed.
chance to bring your guitar out at all, or?
Oh yeah, we had lots of singing. Yeah, at nighttime
Okay,
around
so you
the
got lots of music
fires.
still.
Yes, and also we're working on the About Turn documentary, which for Fabian Henry. So there's a lot of filming going on this year with crew from
Yeah, tell
Toronto
us a
down there.
little bit about that if you can, Vince, without giving the card away.
About Turn documentary is actually going to be amazing. I was fortunate to be able to play a few songs that hopefully they'll original songs they'll have on there. Interviews with different veterans. We had a Marine up from California. He spent the week with us observing, and he's an excellent guy. So he's going to take a lot back what he saw in Cape Breton to the States, and hopefully can do some teamwork there, work together.
Okay, hold on. I got so many questions. This is amazing. I love this story. So there was a veteran from just one veteran from the U.S. or more?
Just one, yeah. He's a big
Wow.
advocate. He's in touch with Congress living in the States to get cannabis access to the veterans of the United States. Some states have it, but you need it right across the states so everybody can have the medicine to get off, instead of the pharmaceuticals to use cannabis, which works for PTSD. It's sad that they can't get the medicine that they deserve, because it really does make a difference, and it's effective, and there's really no side effects.
So let me let viewers know, and this was all paid for, right?
So it was paid for?
Like it was paid. Like these people, they're like, tell us how do people pay for this?
You mean for the About Turn documentary?
No, to come to the camp and all that kind of stuff.
To come to the camp, you have to be a member of Veterans for Healing. So
yeah.
Veterans for Healing provides the funding for these camps. So they're $30,000 to $50,000 for a camp. So we've done 4 of them. So those roughly $200,000.
Wow.
It's difficult, as we know, to get funding from the government for certain things that quite often veterans have to take it on their own to create their own programs and their own fundraising to make things happen. There is government funding, but sometimes there's it's not always just money going. There's something else needs to be done, but you're better off to be independent.
So let's give a big shout out first of all to Kim and Fabian. Big shout out to the guys. Right now, was Kim there? Was Kim there also? So Kim was there with you guys.
Kim and Karen were both there, and they had another support videographer down there, photographer, to help out. So there's 3 of them working on that documentary.
So this kind of the reason? I mean, because you guys obviously must have been pretty busy with the filming and the production elements. I know there's a lot of details that go into filming. So was that part of the reason that you didn't have the song camp, or it just didn't come together this year?
Keith Mullins is a pro songwriter. He's just so busy down in Cape Breton with so much of the music side that he just couldn't book him this year. So hopefully we can have him for next year. He's putting music out there to make people happy, so that's the main thing. So.
But you guys had music throughout so how many days was it now, the retreat?
I was there for 10 days, so the retreat was like a Monday to Friday type thing, Monday to Saturday.
And you guys pulled out your guitars every day, played music every day? Because I know there's a lot of musicians that were probably there, right?
There's quite a few. We also had a concert in the forest, which is up in the acreage in Egypt Falls, Piper's Glen, which is Fabian's property. He built in the forest on the side of a hill, just seats and a stage. So performers come in and sing. A lot of the singer-songwriters, we had 4 of them down there for a whole afternoon concert. It was excellent.
That's great.
Music at nighttime. A few of the veterans do play guitars and play music, and also inspired some others to maybe learn the guitar, pick it up, and it's certainly a wonderful tool to have for your healing and your wellness. When you're having a bad day, you pick it up and you kind of escape. So having any type of musical instrument, whether it be spoons or harmonica, we try to instill in veterans to learn that craft.
That's great, Vince. On the show today, we have veteran Vince Campbell telling us all about his service, his own career in the military, and we're talking about Veterans for Healing, along with a documentary. He was out on the East Coast with his fellow veterans, trying to support each other. Take so veterans are listening again. If they were and they're interested, the organization is called Veterans for Healing, and they can go online and find out all the information. Tell our viewers a basic a basic day at the camp like that you guys that you can share. So we wake up in the morning, we all have breakfast together, and then what did you guys do, sort of thing, like on an average day?
Um, Pretty well breakfast for 9 o'clock. Like this is not a lot of pressure, so you get up. A lot of guys get up early and they're having a couple coffees and that, and just enjoy the outside. And then we'd go over to the other bed and breakfast where the ladies were making breakfast and they had it all set out, bacon, eggs, fruit, and those types of things. So we'd have that and sit around and chat and maybe have a meeting and maybe do some meditation, a walk on the beach. We did a little bit of golfing, bocce balls, some long hikes. We did a walk in the forest and burnt. Basically, you would write on a piece of burst bark some of your thoughts, and you would burn them in the fire and walk to the waterfalls, go across little bridges, and just to enjoy the nature walk. So then of course maybe lunch will come in the afternoon. So you just might go down for a walk on the beach, or go for a walk in town, and next thing you know, dinner's coming, and evening campfire with songs. Maybe go to the restaurant for a meal. So there's all types of different things that Fabian puts into the schedule. But like it's a very relaxed setting, so there's no pressure. So everybody's not feel like they're pressured to have to rush to be doing an event or to be on time.
I love that. And then, so let me ask you, how was the responses from the new guys and girls? What give us some feedback on there. What were they saying?
It's pretty powerful. The feedback is excellent. When I get a chance to sit down and talk to some of the veterans after, it's really been life changing for some of them. And it's really nice to see, because that's what it's all about. It's worth the trip down there just to see the responses, just to plant some seeds for healing, and to show that veterans, there is a path. There are individuals that care that need the peer support. You can't just hide at home and try to play video games and get better.
I love that. I love it. Now,
for your wellness.
Have they contacted you since they've been home? Like, have they contacted the platform or Veterans for Healing just to say, wow, guys, like, thank you so much. I can't wait till next year. I have some ideas, or, you know what I mean?
Mostly it's in some of the posts on Veterans for Healing, and
Yeah.
throughout the year, take pictures down, maybe some posts, and you get some of the feedback from veterans that, had went to the wellness or the song camps. So basically, yeah, that's where it is. Sometimes you get a call on the phone or whatever from someone just to chat.
I love that. What I want to do, because I know music is such an integral part in your life, Vince, and how it's helped you a lot. I want to thank you for being on the show today. But what we're going to do is we're going to take it out. I'm going to come back and do some updates, but we're going to leave the show and we're going to edit in some of your past songs appearances on a disability channel. I think it's really important that our viewers and our fans and our supporters and veterans get a real taste of how much music can really help somebody's life. You know what I mean? Yes, so I really thank you for being on the show today, Vince. If people want to find out more about Veterans for Healing, where could they go? Is there a website?
Just go on Facebook, type in Veterans for Healing, it'll bring you up to the web page, and then it'll take you to, if you want to go to, Instagram or basically LinkedIn or whatever.
Or you can go to our website, right? Go to our website, or go to our Facebook page.
All there.
Well, that's great, Vince. I really thank you for being on the show today. You're watching Veterans Corner. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to come back with some TDC updates. And then, like I said, we're going to finish with Vince's songs in the edited version of the show. So again, you're watching Veterans Corner. I'll be right back to close the show.
Would you like to donate to our employment programs? Please follow the link below to donate through PayPal. All proceeds go to our programs.
the only way. Love is the only way. Love is the only way. Take a breath. Let it be alright. Take a breath. Let it be enough right now. Let this moment be what it is. Let this moment be your doorway to bliss. Seeking love, 'cause it's seeking you.
Welcome back to the show. Wow, I'm a little too close to the screen here. Okay, so I want to thank Vince Campbell for being on the show today. Veteran, hero. I wish we had the other three heroes on, Nick, Mike, and Fraser. We will get them back on. I just want to give people a few updates. Our October 12th fundraiser showcasing veterans in our employment programs out at Kerrigan Arms in Burlington is sold out. We are sold out. So thank you, everybody. Wow, we're very excited. We're going to have some wonderful door prizes. We have a signed guitar courtesy of Long and McQuaid right here. There's the trusty poster on the wall. We're going to be showcasing our employment programs all the way to the Invictus Games. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank our behind-the-scenes people. Our YouTube page is blowing up. We got the shorts on there. We got live feeds. We got the Today Show. We're going to have this show on there. So I want to thank all of our team for working very hard behind the scenes. The Pro Gamer, Tara, Emily, Dylan, Kathy, Lewis. All you guys are doing an amazing job. Jay, we have our programs running right now in the studio downtown Toronto. Everybody should enroll in our employment programs and media for persons with disabilities and veterans. Change your life. Get a job in media, right? So again, I'm Jay Stoyan. We're going to take you out with some sweet sound with veteran Vince Campbell. Again, you're watching a Veterans Corner. We'll see you next time.